Coverage you can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
A report from the Government Accountability Office shows the United States may not know exactly how much land is owned by foreign entities. This comes after concerns regarding how foreign ownership could affect our national security.
KCBD News Channel 11's Patricia Perry takes a closer look at that report and what a state organization wants to happen next.
I think right now farmers and ranchers are asking for transparency. Let's make sure we know who is owning the land out there, and if they are foreign entities, make sure that's reported and documented.
Every year, the United States Department of Agriculture releases a report in December that estimates how much agriculture land is owned by foreign entities. The Texas Farm Bureau says the most recent report showed throughout 2022, foreign ownership increased 200,000 acres to 5.4 million acres in Texas alone.
Texas continues to have the most of any state in terms of foreign-owned land.
Gary Joyner says lawmakers and concerned citizens started looking a little closer at this data when some thought it became an issue of national security.
I think in Texas, the issue really bubbled up after some Chinese interest and ownership purchased some land near an Air Force base in South Texas. That raised issues of national security.
Lubbock Congressman Jody Arrington believes Chinese landowners or affiliates shouldn't be allowed to buy U.S. land.
I'm settled on this. I believe in property rights. I believe in the freedom of those who own property to sell it to who they want. Except I don't want our greatest enemy to be able to put their hooks in our ag land or in land next to military installations.
The Government Accountability Office released a report that mentions the USDA receives its data by paper, which is a slow and error-prone process. Also, the report reveals the data doesn't include additional investors like parent companies and shareholders. So the foreign investment may be understated. Joyner hopes that report results in change at the USDA.
I think it's going to hopefully improve that process and put more attention and maybe some more investment from Congress's standpoint into that office so they can do the job and do it well.
The report also shows Congress directed the USDA to start an online submission process and database by the end of 2025. But the agency does not have plans or timelines to do so yet because it hasn't been funded. Joyner hopes once the database does get established, it will give more insight into who owns what land to help make policy decisions. Patricia Perry, KCBD News Channel 11.
Tonight, a USDA spokesperson told KCBD to meet those expectations, it would require more funding from Congress to increase agency staff and modernize the process. The agency believes any system for tracking the purchases and owners would be complicated, expensive, create a risk to producer privacy, the price of land, and individual American seller interests. The agency says it's essential for Congress to consider a system that balances issues and is workable for everyone involved. And we have the full statement if you'd like to read it at kcbd.com.